Hello, my name is Jean Seaton, and I'm the director of the Orwell Prize. And this evening's rather wonderful debate is part of the Orwell Prize's attempt to make everybody incredibly overheated about politics on the grounds that that's what Orwell did. So we go around fermenting argument, and we've got the most wonderful, I think, exciting and challenging panel tonight. My job is very, very simple. It's to read out the shortlisted books, journalism and blogs from this year's prize. We're extremely pleased to be here. Reuters is one of our sponsors because they do independent journalism and thinking, and they give us some money. Our other sponsors are the Media Standards Trust, Critical Quarterly, and Richard Blair, who's Orwell's son. Shortlisting is always miserable. The judges this year were Ferdinand Mount, Jenny Abramsky, Geoffrey Wheatcroft and Ian Jack. And we had absolutely huge numbers of entries, which is what we want. We want to define politics because we think political writing is going on in all sorts of ways, in all sorts of interesting ways, in all sorts of interesting places. And so we had actually huge numbers of entries. And the moment when, as it were, the long list gets cut down to the short list is human. It has a sort of element of, I think, of arbitrariness in it, actually, because people fight and then they concede and then they win. So there's a huge dance. And on our long list, so the first thing I'm going to announce is the short list of the books. The books we had in this year, it says that political life in Britain is not vivid, should read almost any of the books that are on the long list. We had an extraordinary range of really interesting writing on the long list, including Nick Davis's wonderful book on the press industry, which is very much germane to tonight. And writing books is a sort of long, difficult, hard, complex process. And so I'm now going to announce the short list out of the long list. And the shortlisted books this year are Andrew Brown, Fishing in Utopia, an extraordinary sort of dwelling, really, on what social democracy in Sweden used to be, which is very, very germane to tonight's debate, really, because he really says some of the things that held social democracy together in Sweden have disappeared, and therefore it is not the same place. It's a very similar kind of book. It's a wonderful book, beautifully written. Tony Judt, one of the great British political writers, thinkers, living in America, great set of essays, absolutely, you know, at the top of his form, a great thinker at the top of his form. Owen Matthews' extraordinary memoir of his mother and father, his father a difficult man, his mother a difficult woman, High Russian hair, a Cold War love story that turned out to be not love when they finally met together. And a quite painful story, a good, beautifully written exploration of the most extraordinary childhoods. Sao Hung Pai, a wonderful story of what we all live on, the Chinese labour in Britain that we all live in. I teach in a British university, we have large numbers of Chinese students. You know, Chinese lives go on in the interstices of our lives. An absolutely moving and wonderful book. And in the best traditions of reporting and seeing. Tremendous book. Ahmed Rashid, Descent into Chaos, an incredibly good vindication of people going to places, understanding them and putting them into a long-term political context. A wise book, not one of the normal kinds of books. This is a really serious book about, you know, the place we're in now. Mark Thompson, The White War. This is in fact about the Italian front during the First World War, a front which has been forgotten, Dalton Front, Labour Chancellor of the Exchequer, who made our lives all better, fought on it. It's an extraordinary piece of history. The Italians don't know this history. It took an Englishman to do the history. Very moving, quite extraordinary, and also about the emergent nationalism very, very, very complicated, difficult nationalism, absolutely astonishingly good books. So that is the shortlist. But there are lots of other good books.